navigate yourself through the requirements. We want to use Ruth's talents once we do get people interested to go straight across to Ruth in order to secure our packages. And I think Ruth's the right person, and Ruth's also very excited to take on that role. But G2 will be working very closely with the care coordination team. I thought I'd just put this up here to remind you about how care coordination is going to work. So we'll get a referral in, that could be a phone call, a walk-in, potentially online. We'll review what they need and undertake an assessment to try and work out what is the risk, what is the urgency. We're not a crisis service, we know that, so we want to be able to facilitate that client to the right place. We'll make a decision about where they sit in the system, and then it'll be handed over to the right division for a really detailed, comprehensive assessment, because we all know a phone call is not going to give us everything, but we do want to be able to hand over to you enough information for you to be able to take that client on the journey with us. That's what you will learn through the process that Miriam's going to take you through later. So we want to make it as simple as possible. We will test this and not tell community on purpose, because with this it's test, try, learn, right? So we might test and go, this is not working, we need to refocus before we actually launch anything. So you may not see any big difference other than the fact you're getting a lot more information in Gold Care through an intake information form, and you're getting the right clients. You might say, actually, we're getting the wrong one, so we need to funnel back and get this right. So it's an iterative process. So for community support, so I'm just going to pause here and say this journey has been going for about 18 months. There's been lots of reflections, co-designed here, how do we make this work? My outcome for child and family was to have a contemporary service model that allows us to have more clients come into our organisation. We service them, for a better word, and then move them on. But to do that, we need good systems and processes and workload allocation. The other thing I wanted was to split programs and our social workers and counsellors, because what I did find is, to the good testament of you people in the room, you were doing 1,000 things at once, and it was just too much. So we did the happy divorce, and I'm happy to let you know the separation is going very, very well at the moment, but there will be bumps. So Sarah is the casework manager for our social workers and counsellors, and this is stage 1. And I also get asked, why can't stage 2 happen right now? We need to get stage 1 right first, so that's the systems and processes. For example, Leela's put into place a time period on a Monday between 9 and 12 for workload allocation, reflective practice. Once we get this right, then we'll invite stage 2, which is our aged care caseworkers, to come and join us in that space, probably within a couple of months. And as you can see, Claire sits on the other side and has that dotted link to care coordination team. What I'm excited about is, whilst they're all really good, this one here, I've lost count of how many times people have said, we've got people who want NDIS applications where everyone's too busy or we don't have the skill set. So it's good that we've got Jodie to actually start helping our community with that process. The other part of this is also skilling up our caseworkers. So when a client does come through the system, we want anyone in the team to be able to take on that client and also have other people taking on that client. So when people ring and say, I want to speak to Gary, well, Gary's got on a day off today, but I know someone else in the team who's helping you, they can help you. So that we are trying to move away from reliance on one person in the organisation to a group of people. It's just holistic support. So in Delete's team, we've got Mimi that's overseeing the current programs from Child and Family. And I just want to acknowledge Mimi for the effort Mimi has put in over the last more than 18 months in being flexible in her leadership, but also taking on this. It's a challenge, and it's a challenge because we want to put a social impact framework, and to simplify it for you, we want to know that our programs are working. We don't know that unless you put a framework over the top to say, well, what are the outcomes of the individuals going through the program? And that could be anything. From having parenting seminars through to our DV support groups, through to some of the things, some of the programs we run at the schools. But we want to know they work, and the Once we do know that and they're working, we can enhance them. If they're not working, we may have to stop them, or we build capacity to actually do new programs. But we need a logic framework that sits over the top. And we were just doing the JCA application this week, and one of the questions they're asking us is, can you tell us the outcomes of the services you provide in Jewish Care? And it is a really hard one to answer under 300 words. We can tell you numbers of, which is great, but that actually doesn't tell me of the numbers that came into our services, how many of them got the service they wanted, and are they better, happy and healthy? So it's a big piece of work that Mimi will lead with Delete on that. Once we've got that, we can put every other program through that process. What this allows though is capacity to do things differently and bring in new programs. But at the moment, we take everything we're doing and we apply that framework. And it'll take about 12 months. So it's not a quick process whatsoever. And then we'll have stage 2, which is the links and the programs that Val managers come down as well, and we'll apply the same logic. We have Lana, Warren, NDIS choice programs are already there. We've got marketing and the IT team. So, when you look at this slide, I know your eyes have gone straight across to the picture because that's what our brains do. I thought it's a good reflection piece to say, I think when I first got here, and even the first year, we're all up here going, what the hell's going on? Big lesson for me was to slow down, but once we did slow down, of course, there was some resistance. That's normal. We all do that. We go through the chaos of the change, we go down the bottom, and then all of a sudden these ideas pop up. And that was how it really was in probably the last 12 months. Then we had to start getting back up onto the mountain, which is how do we integrate and how do we make our new business the status quo. That's an old picture, but it's a very good one because we all go through that in our personal lives and our professional lives. But we get there. It's just a process. I'd like to say that the train's left the station, we're all on it. Some people are driving a bit faster than others, but we're there. So it's a big reflection on me and a big thank you for actually joining me in that process. I think I've gone through this other than to say that stage 2 will commence once we're comfortable and we're ready to go. Otherwise it's BAU in the other programs in Jewish Care. So, and it also doesn't impact the work that Mike and the divisions are doing of what we can do better in Jewish Care. So where do we want to grow? How do we want to change? We still apply that methodology is still happening right now. We're looking at numbers, people, clients, systems, processes to go what's got to change and what's the value add in the marketplace right now? Because it is highly competitive. What's our value add? So we're still doing that process. All right, let's talk about governance. Really exciting stuff. So, as you know, we have a set senior executive team. That actually goes without saying. We've changed it to a senior executive council. Now, the reason I've changed the word council means two things. One, council in the word that we're a group that actually want to be able to collaborate with you, partnership with you, take on your opinions, and then make decisions. You can't have a council unless you have a group that's underneath the council that informs that decision making. So for the council, it really is the people that you saw in the high level that you saw in the first org chart. We'll do what we do already. We meet weekly. Then every month, we'll meet with the new group called the Joint Consultative Group that replaces our operational leadership group. So with the OLG, worked really, really well, but we had a lot of people and the mismatch of people attending, not attending, wasn't that conducive to what we wanted. So we're going to change it and it'll look like this. So it'll meet every month. It'll help us make decisions, but it's going to be through an EOI process. So it's up to the organisation or the people in the organisation to put their hand up to join this group. We're not going to say, if you're a manager, if you're this, you must. It's actually up to you, and it can be anyone, it can be the front line, it can be anyone. Often, as you know, the best ideas come from the frontline staff, so we actually want it up and down. Anita will be the sponsor as part of the SEC, and Bronwyn's kindly offered to chair that committee. What I like about this, every month we meet as a senior executive council, we'll have an hour